Watch page. Alright, I should be up and live, hopefully. For how long, we don't know. But the internet has been giving me some issues. Espen, how are you? Misfits, Kabuki, how are you? Oh boy, there's a whole bunch of out there. Just a couple things. I had started taping some of this because I was having some really weird issues with the internet yet again. I know all weekend we had another just nightmare with it. So we are actually going to probably pursue a lawsuit against these guys because they're killing my business. They really are. Bound River Rick, how are you? Okay, so let me just tell you what I've been doing and taping off camera. Pretty much just to catch you guys up. And somebody asked, when are you going to finish all the monsters? And, you know, like I would take them to a certain point. We're actually going to, I'm going to have them all together. This is the last monster that we really have to do out of the starter box. And then sound is low, kind of low. All right, hold on. How's that? Is that better? Taping, old school. Yes, very much so. Let me just make sure that I can get this in here and make sure my level's right. That should be off, and that should be off as well. Oh, better. Okay, yeah, I just had to move the microphone closer. I was trying not to wake up my daughter, who is on the couch, and it's 11 o'clock. I don't want to force her to get going. Yes, it is President's Day here in America, so basically I have today off, so I'm trying to get some of the things done that we promised that we were going to get done. So I'm going to finish up these monsters here, and then the following week we're really going to concentrate on the clans. I've already started working a bit on the Dragonfly Clan. You may see them mixed in here a little bit just to keep things going. This week you're going to see 3 more painting videos. I was going to do Gloomhaven, but I'm going to save that for next week because we are actually going to be doing Gloomhaven probably with 3 people. So that's going to be kind of fun, as Victoria will be involved, hopefully. And a couple of her friends. So I'm going to finish painting up and going back to Gloomhaven next week. But this week we are going to go back to Kingdom Death Monster. We're going to start working on the Antelope. Does the sound cut out from time to time, or is it just me? It's probably just you because I have good levels here and I'm looking. So I think it's fine. So without further ado, let me explain exactly what I've been doing here. First off, I took a dry Changeling Pink, and I just kind of highlighted over these tentacles just to give them a little light here. Then I took a filleted one flesh, and what I did is I went over all the arms. Now if you saw Painting 101, then you know that I had taken a when you hear the sound dip, it's just him turning his head from the mic. All right, let me try to do something here. My goodness. I need a sound guy. That's what I need. All right, how is that? Does that sound okay right there? Because we're going to leave that right there. We're going to see if that helps any. And I'll just put the brushes over here. There we go. Let's see if this works. Do you put agitated ball? No, I do not. Again, then we took the flesh one and just went over. And if you saw Painting 101, you saw me dry brush this. Then what I did is I painted over the hair again to kind of get that out. Then I took a administrative gray and just kind of dry brushed over the hair a little bit. And there we go. We have a monster. So that's that guy for now. Good. That's the way we don't. I also don't know how to word it better. But no, I do not. Next thing we did is we primed the Oni of Spite completely black. All right. And as you can see, here's all the prime. Then what I did, and I very sloppily put on a Evil Sun Scarlet in between here. Okay. And we're going to clean all that up later. From there, because of the way the armor is, so let's pull this card up so you guys can all see it. I dry brushed basically all the metallic areas a lead belcher. Don't worry, we're going to go a little farther with that, because if you really look at this card, there's a whole bunch of different things going on here. So we're going to get to that. I have to dig out the different metallics. I'm going to show you how to really work a lot of different metallics today. So you're going to see how that is going to all spin together into an evil web. And yes, I had to turn my head. So I just need to pull out a couple more paints while we're live here, and then we'll get to painting for the next hour. We'll get our Rising Sun stuff in for the week. And also, there's a gaming jury that goes live at 11 o'clock. Well, not live, but shows up. So we've got a couple of videos for today that I think you guys will enjoy. Who says I don't give you enough content? At least I try. At least I try. And I just got to open up this section here and just pull out my metallics. Here we go. Just the stuff I'm looking for. It's all hidden away. All squirreled away. One thing we want to do is bring out a Gana gold. I've got a couple of them here. We have a gold, an heroic armor gold, which is going to, oops, let me bring it up there. Let me zoom this out a little bit. There we go. There we go. So you see that. That's going to be a key player today. That's the same thing. Runefang Steel we're going to need. Alright, because we want to bring out that lead belcher a little bit more. Alright. We've got our primary players there. And let's see if we can get this guy done. And some of these other guys kind of where we need to be a little bit. Now we're going to put these aside here. And we're going to just try to get things a little organized here, because I didn't expect to be able to go live. I haven't played my Rising Sun. I pretty much painted. I haven't had it. I had Rob's painting skills to spruce up my copy. Oh, I don't have skill. Anybody can do this, and that's the whole thing. I'll be very quiet somehow. They need me to work. Well, I'll be very quiet too, so you guys don't hear a lot. This week, I want to kind of get this done pretty quickly, because I'm going to go outside and finish getting everything ready for the big auction for Bella, where we're going to try to raise some funds for Bella's recovery and also help some people that are in need as well. So I'm going to get rid of half my collection, pretty much. Well, not half of it, but quite a bit, at least 2 racks worth. So you guys are going to want to look forward to that. All right, so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, geez, what do I need to do here? And probably the first thing I want to do is I want to get I got to see if no, there's my Mephiston Red. I don't want that. Actually, I'm going to go with a Retribution Armor, which is, as you know, Bella had her checkup, by the way. We haven't had a chance to talk about it. Bella had her checkup. I'm going to take this Retribution Armor and I'm going to do a few things with it, so just bear with me. You're going to see me pull in some of these guys here, because we're just doing base stuff on these guys. And then we'll start to highlight them and work on them a little bit as we go. But nevertheless, Bella went to the hospital on Wednesday to get checked up on. And you know something? I forgot to do something here too. but that's okay. We'll deal with it as we go. And as we Bella, getting back to Bella, it's kind of hard to paint and do like 19 things at once. We found out that Bella is doing a lot better with the radiation, but you know, we'll see how it all plays out. Like I said, she's walking a little bit better, but does she relapse? We don't know. We're not sure if everything's gone away or anything. They didn't do any MRIs on her or anything like that, and of course they give you the same prognosis as basically, oh, it's all doom and gloom. Well, we're just hoping for the best for our little girl, and she is having a lot of fun. So I'm just kind of going over this right now with the gold for the face mask, and then I want to work this in here and bring that out, bring out that armor look here. There we go. And there's a few more spots here on the hand here, so we want to work that in. While I had the lead belcher out, I should have painted these swords, but I did not. So who's to blame for that? Me. There we go. And like I said, this is just getting base coats on here. We're working towards things, and you'll see how this all comes together. Like I said, I try to do things the way I try to simplify things for people, and you know, some people like it, some people don't. That's okay. That's okay. You can't like everybody's work, right? Nobody's perfect. All right, there we go. We're going to take care of that handle there, and we have to touch this up here, so I'm not too worried about this. So I'm just going to put that on there. Not too professional like. We're not a professional painter. We're, you know, I just do things differently. My thing is about coverages, making things look nice and neat, so when you guys go to play the game, that it looks nice and neat, and that's the most important thing. And just, you know, so you can just get it to the table. That is the most important aspect of this whole experience, is being able to paint this where you can get this to your table. Now we're going to talk a lot about how to edge things in our next segment of Painting 101, which will be, I think it's next week. I'm not sure if it's going to be this week, but because we have a lot on our plate this week. We got to get Super Dungeon Explorer. What am I talking about? We have to get whatchamacallit back on the table, which is our very beloved. Oh, thank you so much, William. Glad to hear she's been. Yeah, she's walking better. Yesterday I noticed a little bit of slide off, but well, listen, you know, she's a fighter. It's go Bella go. That's all I can say. Go Bella go. Just keep fighting. That's all you can ever ask our little puppy girl to do. All right, so there we go. All right, so put a little gold on there. So now let's work. I just want to get a little water here. Now I like to take these ceramic things and just, that's where I like to put my water. All right, doesn't dry up that quickly, and especially if you keep them in the freezer before you paint, you'll find that you can water down just about anything. So people always talk about wet palettes and this, that, and the other. I just tried to make things simple, okay? I think it's a little complicated for a beginner to start messing with that, when the first thing they need to find out is how much they really enjoy painting, if at all. You know, I get plenty of comments that I delete very quickly about people trying to tell people how to do things and just trying to confuse them and just try to get them to go over to their channel with their... See, if the Queen was here, she would tell me to stop. But I mean, you know, trying to get them to their, you know, when you don't have to solicit here. If you're part of the thing, we have a few people here that really are part of the channel that have their own channels. And if you just come to me and say, hey, can you give me a little boost? You know, I'm just starting out. You know, I'd probably be happy to do it. I really would. You know, nobody helped me. Do you know, speaking of which we're going to get off subject. I'm just touching that up a little bit because I got a little white on there. Okay, so let's get back. Now we're going to get to the big guy here. Let's see. Good morning, Matt. Hello there. Oh, yeah. I can't forget to put my thumbs down on this video. Well, Tim, that's why we have times out and things like that. As our dear friend, who is he? Learned a very hard lesson. Wasn't it? Oh, I even forgot his name. He's been gone. Timon. Does anybody remember Timon? He used to be on here all the time. Now, all of a sudden, he's just gone. Because he got spanked a little bit. He didn't like it. All right, so we're just going to put a little of that there. We're going to kind of work that up there, but we're going to come back to this a little bit, and I'll show you why. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to start picking out things and just kind of lightly working this gold color over the top. Not too much, not too little, just a little bit in there. And there's a reason for that. All I wanted to do is just kind of stand out. Maybe in here a little bit, and there a little bit. Just trying to stand out the armor a little bit. Kind of like that. Trying to look at this and really come up with a game plan, because I do everything on the fly, as you know. I don't have no real great game plan when it comes to some of these things. Hey, Big Bang. Let me bring this in just a hair. There we go. Up top here. Well, that looks like... there's really not a lot of art out there, and you kind of got to flub it and make it your own in a way. Okay, I see that now. I see that now. All right. So we're going to take a little bit more of that, and we're just going to work that over here a little bit. The best thing about this is when I'm done with it, I'll show you what I do. It's kind of funny. It's almost a waste of paint, to be honest with you. Okay. Let's work in here a little bit. Just going to try to just over the top. That's all I want to do right now. Working a little in there. Working a little in there. Work that in here. And I know it looks off right now, but don't worry. Don't you worry, Annie. We'll get there. Yeah, I think if you subscribe, you got to hit that bell thing or something. There's a bell thing if you're a subscriber, and if you don't, that'll give you notifications. It's something new that they're doing, so when I have a new video or something, geez, I wish I can give you an answer on half of this stuff, but I don't even know how half this works, to be honest with you. Graham-tastic, what's up, my brother? So we're going to take this, we're just going to kind of dance around with that a little bit. And come through here a little bit. There we go. And of course we've got to do the back side of it. And this is just a base coat that I'm putting on here. You'll see where I'm going with this very shortly. Very shortly. Dennis, one of our subscription members. sponsors, actually. Excuse me, I'm sorry. He's one of our sponsors. I'm very lucky to have him as a sponsor on this channel, which is always great because it actually helps us. By being a sponsor on this channel, I've decided that anybody that hits the super chat or is a sponsor, that's somebody giving us a call, but we'll worry about that later. I'm just going to kind of gloss over this a little bit because there's only certain areas that have this. It's almost kind of like mixed in a little bit, so we're just going to give this a little feel here. And whoever does that, I'm actually going to use that money to replace paints. I've gone through paints. I guess that's one thing when I did the Patreon I didn't plan on was how much paint I was going to use. By the way, tomorrow, my poor daughter, I feel bad for her. She is sending out a whole bunch of painted stuff for people. I'm not going to say who. When you get it, you'll know. Reason being, there's a couple reasons for that. People get disappointed if they don't hear their name. I am working feverishly. This weekend I painted 4 games, and they weren't small games either. I should have taped most of it, but I did not. It slows you down when you got to do it that way. All right, so just kind of, you can see here, very lightly working in there, and I'm doing this about the same time. I'm making decisions on this about the same time that you guys. Oh, something. His hand here is completely gold. All right, that's fair. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. One side there is completely gold. I'm just going to go and just, it looks like it's here. And we're just going to add that in there. There we go. And that side is, and the other side is not, shockingly. The other side shows silver. Alright, so we're going to have to take the lead belcher out, which is fine because we have to do those swords anyways while this dries. So I'm going to go over here. And don't worry about getting it on the black because we have to touch that up anyways. Trust me. You're constantly going to be touching things up because there's a lot of different, especially with the rising sun stuff. There is a lot of color schemes that you're going to see that are going to you're going to go, wow, okay, what do I do here? And don't worry about it. We'll get you there. We will get you there. All right, so I just got to get the back of that. And supposedly you want to kind of take and just go around the outside here, which we're going to. But that's not important as when we do it with the next color. And you'll see what I'm talking about very shortly. Very shortly. Okay, these little wings here have a nice little gold touch to them. And then you're going to want to get your detail brush because there's going to be some work in here. And there's no way to get around it. There's no quick way to get around it. This here looks like it has a little touch there, so that's what we're going to do. There we go. Those are red. I know that for a fact. And we're continually working here. Just adding. Oh, okay, Gabby. You don't have to get all aggravated about it. Puma, how are you? Oh, but like I was saying, what we're going to do is we're going to use the super chat and for shipping and sponsors. Any money that we get from the sponsors we're going to use to buy paints because paints are expensive. You got to think about it. You go through a paint, it's like $6. Well, for the paint that I need to get. The Vallejo's cheaper, but it's just as good. I just have a thing for GW paints. I don't know what it is. I like the Army Builder too. It's just, it's really something that really kind of just works for me. Now, remember what I said. I put this in the freezer, okay, a lot of times, and I just like to work from this a small little area. And when I'm done, I just wipe it off, take a little water, and then I'll start working with my next color. Simple as that. More Rising Sun, Valorian says. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Where was I? Oh, okay. We were going to finish up. This bottle is almost dead. Boy, do I use lead belcher a lot. Boy, do I use lead belcher a lot. So we're just going to tighten up some of these areas here. As we're working on the Dragonfly Clan, I'm just putting base coats on here, so I know they look like garbage, but don't worry. Don't worry. We're going to concentrate on all of the clans really starting next week, as we'll be breaking them down and really painting them, especially when we get all the monsters done. We'll do a basing show for the monsters. So when you get your retail version, unlike those lucky Kickstarter people like Jonathan Klee, who, thank you, Jonathan, for sending this, so we can have a video base for people. You know, some people may like this and some people may not. I know I've gotten my share of hate in the world, but, you know, the whole point is just to, like I always say, I just try to make it easy for you guys as I ramble on while I paint. One of my favorite things to do, ramble. Let me see if there's anything lead belcher there. No. That is going to be that. That is going to be different. We're going to work into there. Okay, perfect. And our dear friend here. Trying to use all this up. I hate waste not, want not. Isn't that what they always say? That's what they're supposed to say. Happened about 2-3. Hobby Lobby up their paints from $2.99 to $4.99. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now you know why I need sponsors. Smash that How does Leland say it? Smash that sponsor button. I don't care. Honestly, I am in such a good place when it comes to this channel. I don't think I've ever been happier. You know, when you have a community that you know everybody and everybody knows you is just a really great thing. And, you know, we're just plugging along here. Like I said, this little channel will just keep doing what it does. And what does it do? It just keeps moving along. Keeps moving along. There. Nothing there. I'm trying to look at this thing sideways too, which doesn't make things any easier. Let's just move him back a little bit, move her back, move this over here, move this guy into here, and let's bring up these cards so you guys can see what the heck we're doing and why we're doing it, and so forth and so on. Well, we're going to put her over there, her, him, whatever, over there. We're going to put that there because those are the ones that we are concentrating at this moment. Let's see here. Okay. Perfect. Over there. Over there. That goes over there. That goes over here. I want to make sure that we don't have to double up our work here. And that's all we're trying to do. If I can stay within this area here. There we go. And like I said, we are constantly working on this because there's just a lot of different colors that are going to be involved in this whole project. You know, just for the base guys, the 5 guys, you know, they're very colorful and very, they stand out quite a bit. So we want to make sure that we give it everything that we can here. All right, perfect. We're going to leave that there, that there, that there. Okay, let's clean off this brush. All right. Uh-oh. Bella's getting up. Oh, she just laid down. She has such a hard time turning because of her legs. When everybody knows your name, cheers. Pretty much. Everybody knows. Good morning, Brahmas. How are you? What time is it? It's... Oh, no parking, young lady. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. All right, so here, we have to touch up and add some black in here, but I was just painting away, and I really wasn't too concerned. My thing was getting all those colors in there, and I can always come back and fix all the black hair in here. So I'm not too worried about that. So that's why we're going to leave that the way it is. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to try to brighten up some of this metallic in here, but first thing is first. Let's get yeah, I kind of like that. All right. The reason we took the lead belcher out, see, I started in with I bounce around a lot, and the reason I do that is you try to use as much as, when you open up a paint, you try to use as much as you can of that paint at that particular moment, and I think that's always important. And so for this guy, we want to make sure that his hand is completely done. And am I in screen? Yes, it's just my big hand is in the way. And all I'm doing, see, I'm getting a little on the cape there. I'm not worried about that now because we're going to go through, we're going to touch up, and we're really going to make this shine. I don't know why this headset is bothering me today. All right, there we go. Because we're going to make sure we darken up properly. That's the most important thing. Now, I should have another color here that I was talking about. Oh, there we go. Corn red. Corn red is going to be a prominent player here. And we'll worry about that later right now. Okay. Runefang Steel. Now, Runefang Steel really is going to bring out the lead belcher quite a bit. You got to shake it up real good, or it has like that cloudy stuff. Doing good, sir. Don't catch the live paint often, but this is still fun to me, though. My Kickstarter, Rising Sun, is still in the wrapping because it scares me. Don't be scared of anything. Come on now. The only thing you should be scared of is, well, nothing really fears me except for the Queen. If you don't have fear for the Queen, then you are just a fool. Isn't that what Dr. Doom said one time? Only a fool doesn't fear. I think it was something to that effect. You really have to shake this one up. Runefang Steel, it could be very cloudy if you do not shake it properly. And that could be a big problem. All right, what time do we got? Oh, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're doing okay. Okay, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. You could see it borders on the line of silver and cloudy. So you gotta really give it a good shake. Shaking like you're baking. All right, that's a workout unto itself. All right, now we're just gonna take some of this Runefang Steel because this stuff is just magic. And we're going to work it right in here. And we're going to dry it off. because again, we're not going to just paint it just straight on. We want to go over, and we want to just hit very lightly so it gives it a really nice metallic look. It's a higher reach, and it works specifically well. There we go. Especially when we're going to come in here a bit. And like I said, I'm not worried about getting it on the cloak or anything like that because I'm going to have to work it out. It really shines when you just... Oh, easy, Bella. See, Bella, maybe Bella doesn't like when we do this. That's what I'm starting to think. Just kind of, even though we have those gold kind of tips in there, we're just going to go over it because we're going to be playing around with this quite a bit. Just getting those edges. And you see it just makes it brighter. It just makes it brighter. And even though I'm getting it on the black, don't worry about it. We got that all figured out too. We've got that all figured out too. And we're just working it in here. There we go. And it doesn't matter how we get it in there, as long as we get it in there. And our metallics are the most important because that is what's going to really sell our figure a bit. So even though we're going over some of the gold area, don't worry about it. That's why we're doing this. And we can go in here a little bit. It's all about selling that metallic. Mine has not been here for too long, maybe a week. I backed it the first day. I'm not sure if it matters when it comes to distro though. Mark, I use a skill saw with a clamp. Did I miss something? They need to make mini paint shakers. See, that's a good idea, Jesse. That's one way of doing things. Well, you know, it's kind of hard for me to do that, especially when I'm online all the time painting. Doesn't do me any good. All right. Now, we kind of made a mess of that, but that's okay. That's all we're trying to do is make a mess of it, actually. All right. All right. Now, next color that, well, should hold off on that a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not, I say. Oh boy, I gotta just fix this in a minute. Here, hold on. The one thing I don't like, and you gotta make sure that you don't get, is with this, with the Citadel paints. If you get a little bit on that back edge there and it drips in there, it dries in that gap and you can't close the thing properly. So what happens? Paint dries out pretty quickly. We can't have that. We can't have that, can we? Confused by the silver metallic over the gold. What is the purpose effect that you're going for? Bill, whatever I feel like right now. Basically, the reason I went over the silver is I wanted to get that. I'm not worried about the gold. I wanted the gold as a little bit of a base, so I know where I need to go with the gold. So basically what I'm doing is, here's the card, and we're trying to get it as close. It's not a very gold on this guy. And what we're trying to do is really just brighten it up a little bit and trying to get the kind of look that they have, because they have, if you notice right in here, there's silver and gold. So I'm just trying to, I wanted to get and bring out the silver as much as I could, and then I'm going to go over everything with the gold, which I'm planning on doing right now, with a little bit more, with a little more authority, shall we say. I want the silver to stand out, but I just kind of wanted to see where I thought the gold was and just get that kind of outlined and then fix it from here. That is a great answer, isn't it? Just to mess with anyone that has OCD. No, honestly, Bill, I wasn't trying to be a Weisenheimer. The gold was just there to kind of give me a basis as to I know what I got to go back over. But it kind of tricks you here, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Let's turn on the light here. Ugh. That there's almost a, it's not a predominant goal. So that's why I'm kind of just messing with it and trying to see where I can go with it. All right, so now we're going to get a little bit more detailed with the gold. All right, so where's my little thing here? Let me get that on there. That on there. Just work a little bit of water in there. And there we go. All right. Work's done. Time to relax. All right. So now, just to come back over all the gold. And just be a little bit more dominant with it. Like I said, I used a am I off screen? Okay. Sorry, guys. Now with a thinner brush, I'm going to take a little bit more time, and I'll be a little bit more detailed in what I do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to change brushes. For a reason. We're going to go to an army painter brush. That's correct. Nice sharp point on it. And let's just get some paint on there. And let's go to work. Alright, so what I want to do here is just kind of edge out that gold that I had set out there. And I'm actually going to probably put a wash over this at some point. But we are going to really work on Happy Family Day to all Canadians. Oh, there we go. All right. just going over. I'm trying to actually keep an eye on the chat. And again, we are not. There we go. That Guyana gold really kind of stands out. Oh, Uric armor gold. I always think Guyana gold. I'm sorry. So let me move this over here where I can control it a little bit better, because I can't see it that far away. Alright. There we go. I'm going to have to shake this up at some point again. Alright, let's put down the head thing. And again, just working that in there a bit. The wash is going to do a lot for this. And then we're going to go over it again. That's why I'm not too fussy here. And right in there. Work that in there. Work that in there. Work that in there. These brushes are just really, really nice brushes. If you have the means, I suggest it highly. Alright, let's go over here and grab a little bit more. Come on. Nice to take a day off, spend some time with you guys. And I'm going to come up in here. There'll probably be another part of this later this week. We're trying to paint a bunch of games at the same time. Not always the easiest thing to do, but we'll get there. Alright. And just get that in there. Get that in there. Get in there. Get in there. Alright. We're going to let that dry for a few minutes, and then we're going to do what our next thing is to do. Kickstarter to buy an afro wig for... Oh, God, no. No afro wigs. Let's leave that to the moron. He can wear all the afro wigs he wants. Dope. What do we want to do here? I'll let that dry a sec. That is where it needs to be. That. Okay. Since we have the good liner brush out, let's break out. I'm not going to clean this up because I'm going to put that wash on there, and that is going to get us where we need to be. Once that wash dries, then we'll come back next episode and start working really heavily on him. Our main function here, we need to bring in some rope here. So I have a, oh, where is it? I'm going to use a dry it bark I like to use. Angular handles on those brushes. Yes. Rob doesn't need an afro wig, he just needs to borrow Justin's. Oh, there you go. I don't even want to talk about him. Alright, so we're just going to tighten up, and we're going to get that into there. And there. I want to get on these guys and do that. And then we got one rope here. These are just very, very, very well put together brushes. If you, again, if you have the means to get them, they give you great control in there. Very nice. Very, very nice. And we're going to go around the ankle here and an ankle here. You see barefoot? Yeah, so we'll get that taken care of with some flesh tone once we get this all squared away. We have a lot of dry brushing to do on this guy. All right. And on this gentleman here, he has, yes, he has some brown areas there, so we're going to fill those in. Like I said, you got to bear with this because there's a lot going on, especially when you're painting these guys. When you're done, you're going to get the result that you want, and that's what it really comes down to. Just having and getting that result that you desire. But you got to be willing to figure that result along the way. There we go. Let's get that in there. I got to do a second coat of the red in here. So there's always constant work. Alright, there we go. There's that there. Into there. No, I don't want to do that there. That is going to be black. And we're just touching this up ever so lightly. There we go. Boom. Alright, let him dry. This one we're not even going to mess with because there's a lot that goes on with this guy, and we're going to save him completely for another thing. As you can see, he has a lot going on, and we want to make sure that we do him right. John Whitesnake, good morning. Good morning, the gaming dude, my good friend. All right. Alrighty. Let's see. All right, I think he's dry enough. Yeah, I'm dry test. And all we're going to do, take my nasty brush. This thing has seen some battles. But this is where we kind of just fill in all the blanks and then come back over with stuff again. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. A lot of it doesn't make sense until the very end. And we're just going to take a new oil and just go over all of this. And usually we use a different color instead of usually I use a for gold I usually use an Agrath Earthshade, but we're not going to do that this time because we're just worried about one thing. See, we're just going to go over that again at some point, so we're not worried about that. We're just worried about getting this in here onto this and just doing some shortcuts here. And you can see all of a sudden it's starting to make a little bit of sense. Just a little bit, not much, but you can see what I was going for. I want that gold to kind of sit but not overpower it. And I'm just letting the wash do some of the work here over the reds and things like that, because we're just going to paint over that anyways. And then we want, you see the backside, it just looks like garbage, and then you turn around, oh wait a minute, that doesn't look that bad, does it? And that's all we were trying to get to. to answer Bill's question. So when we come back and we start really adding in and give it that metallic look, we've already got kind of a basis. So going over that gold stuff with the silver was just to try to keep it light for now until we could figure out how we wanted to do it. I was trying to figure out where the goal was going to end up. I wanted to lighten it a little bit before I darkened it up. Alright, let me just clear this off a little bit. Sometimes you just need to wash this brush before you start pushing things around. Seeing Rob paint Rising Sun makes me realize how beyond I am. I realize how behind I am on my CMON games. I must finish my Blood Rage first. Well, I've got next, I think this week, towards the end of the week, because Mimi's not going to be around, so I'm going to do a solo game live. Maybe Justin and I will do something, I'm not too sure. But it is going to be paint week here at the arena, and you will see probably Blood Rage being painted again. I'm just going to go over this anyways, the whole thing. I just let it all work it all out here. Now this by no means is done. We've got a lot of work to do on this guy, but this wash is going to help us where we need to be. So this is how you base and get him where you need to be. Well, goodbye, Victoria. I'll see you in a little bit too. And Victoria just bucked out, which means I'm left with the dogs. Oh no, no. And we could do the same thing on these two guys here. So why don't we throw a little wash on them? I want to go over with a dark. Well, you know what? I'm not just yet, because I want to play around with these guys. There's a lot of base stuff that goes in here, and we really have to get it. Just want to say that the Painting 101 videos were very beneficial and is wealth of information. It's great. It's a great start and limits my early mistakes for me. Well, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. It's very, very kind of you. Question about shading paints. Can you get away with getting new oil and earth shade, or do I need more colors for getting started? Nah, new oil and earth shade is more than enough for you. I might just suggest a Reichland flesh shade for human flesh, but other than that, no, you're good. You're good. All right, so here's where we're at. So let me back this out a little bit here. Okay, this is going to dry. This is going to take about 45 minutes to dry. So what are we trying to accomplish here? Well, I'm going to tell you. Right now, we just kind of want to get the basis here and get everything darkened up, so when we come over with even a lighter steel and very lightly, it's going to come out brighter. And then when we go in with even a lighter gold, it's going to come out even brighter. And then we'll fill in all the detail, the hair and all that stuff, and we'll fix the cloak, and we'll tighten everything up, and then we'll be right where we want to be for this guy. It's going to take a little work, yes. But the reason, and I feel so bad because I think Bill thought I was being a jerk. I really wasn't. I was just kind of kidding around, and I hope he didn't take it the wrong way. The reason I put the silver down, and then, I put the gold and then the silver, was because I wanted that kind of interaction. So it kind of has a feel to the card, okay? And then just pick my areas to really kind of highlight. So you don't know if it's really that gold or the silver that is controlling that particular thing. And that's the kind of feel that you have on this particular car. So we're going to put him aside. We're going to put her, like we talked about, we got pretty well squared away. And just one more thing I want to do before we get off the air here. We're going to do a couple more things. I think. What time is it? Oh, 11:51. Yeah, we could do a lot in 10 minutes. You should know that. Shade question for Rob or anyone. Does it work reasonably well if I modify an existing shade by adding a drop or two of base color to the shade? No, I would not mess with that. No, I would just go out and get the crimson shade, because now you're taking and you're changing the components. Without the Queen and Victoria, the dogs must be in charge. Yes, they are, very much so. I've been finding a lot of inks and clearance at Hobby Lobby, making my own color washes. I've made washes myself too. Right now, because of what I'm trying to accomplish here, I am really just trying to get as much as I can. It's my first time trying it, but it works pretty nicely. Oh, well, cool. For me, I wouldn't do it, but that's me. You know, what do I know? Like I said, I'm just... Okay, where did I have that particular color that I wanted to go with? Because we really want to we're going to kind of work on our friend here. And let's get him where he needs to be a bit. But we need to dry brush him. And I need to find what I did with that dry brush color that I had for him. So now, all of a sudden, I can't find it. Alright, bear with me, folks. Of course, you know that nothing can ever go right on this channel and be a smooth transition. Well, I was going to take out another one of those dry pens and utilize that, and I don't know what I might have done with it, but that's why we have what we have here. Oh, wait, hold on. Knew I had it somewhere. That just means I put something else away. Let's put ceramic white away. A filleted one. Oh, no, we'll leave that out. And let's put that away. All right, let's get going. Slowing everything up. Sheesh. The most unprofessional channel ever. Alright. That's too soft. I like a harder brush when I dry brush. Something that I feel that I have some control over. Alright. The dry bark here is very nice to work. Oh, the dude. Knocking these out of the park. Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm just doing it so everybody can kind of see it. Now take a look at this stuff here. It's like rubber in there. Doing, 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 doing. So you can almost peel it off the side and mix it in with the other stuff. So I'm just taking a bunch of it, and all I'm doing is taking and bringing it here. And then I'm taking it all off my brush. Why? Because all I want to do is just, here we go with that dry brush thing again. All I want is to start bringing out some depth into these feathers. And that's all I want to do. And I guess when you dry brush like this, you talk in weird voices. And just nice and lightly. You're not going to see a lot on this particular color, but just wait. We're going to go even lighter. I'm going to take a little bit more out here. Come on. We'll take that hunk, which will probably dry anyways. And you just take it and you work it in here. Like so. Rob, do you think these minis are nicer than the Blood Rage ones? Same or lesser quality? I think they're the same thing. You know, when I'm painting this, I think of Blood Rage. Matter of fact, I'm going to do next week, I think I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of the miniatures. And we're going to take a look because I have some that need to be painted. I have a couple more of the monsters from whatchamacallit, so we're going to take a look at both of them. We're going to paint them both at the same time, so you can have a Blood Rage Rising Sun Overload, which might be too much for some of you, so I'll put a little warning before I do it. And again, now you see what I'm doing here? Just nice and lightly tickling the feathers. Taking one thing and just making it lighter by just having and going nice and easy over it. These are going to be so much fun to paint. You're going to enjoy this, and you're going to have such a nice result. Asian theme minis are harder to paint because they're more intricate. Vikings are pretty basic color scheme. I think she meant the quality of the miniatures, unless I'm wrong. But definitely, these are more intricate. But I'm trying to show an easier way to do this so people aren't intimidated by it. Because, you know, you look at some of those pictures, your head will spin. You go, oh boy, man, I'm not going to do this. I'll just play this game the way it is. And I think this series has showed you how easy and how quick you can get these things going and just have fun with them. I mean, we're almost done with the monsters, and I think we put maybe a whole, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours in. Watson Curtis had a question. Scroll up. Oh, okay. Thank you. Boy, very nice job, Miss Misfit. Okay, let's see. Watson Curtis. Hey, morning, guys. Hey, Rob. Been trying to paint lately. Been having a hard time trying to reach certain parts of my miniature. Advice for reaching those hard places with your brush. If you know you're going to have a hard spot to reach, make that the first thing you paint and be sloppy with it, because it's going to take a lot of the frustration out of it. So say there was something in this gap here. Before you put all this on here, get in there and just don't worry about it getting on everything, because you're going to go over those other words. Work at the deepest points outwards. Deepest point out. There you go. I hope to see you paint the panda and the Kissoon, the fox character, soon. Yes, after I'm done with these monsters, we're going to go to Godzilla and the other ones, and we're going to get going. Terry, how are you? Good to see you. What am I doing here? Okay, there we go. All right, so there. So as you can see, we just kind of lightly went in there, and now we're going to go even lighter. So we have to clean off this magical brush, and we're going to take some Carrick Stone, because that's a little bit lighter and it's going to really bring things out. But we really want to be careful with this. We really do. First, we want to shake it up. We want to shake it up. And thank you, Misfit. Remember, when you're looking at your miniature, you do, you know, I said I didn't plan these out. Well, no, I didn't. I just kind of went live. And then I start planning out how I'm going to do things as I go. But I've also painted probably over 1,000 miniatures in the last 3 months, which is kind of exhausting, and you do get a little burnt out. But here's the thing. Honest to God. The most important thing here is just take your time, take a look at the miniature that you're going to paint. It may be intimidating to look at this and go, oh my God, how the heck am I going to do it? But start to problem solve it. Say, well, if I do this first, and you look at them, you go, if I do this first and then lighten this area up next, and then do something else, you know, there's a way that I can do it and problem solve it. It is a puzzle, and you have to figure out how the puzzle, because if you start at the wrong end of the puzzle, you're not going to finish the puzzle, because you're going to be continually fixing and misplacing pieces. All right, so again, we're going to dry brush with a Carrick Stone, and if you notice, like I said, you take it here, you wipe a lot of it off, And then I'm going to hold off on bidding on the lots and the patron, as we had a medical emergency over the weekend. Listen, don't worry about any of that. Take care of you first. That's the most important thing. I say that all the time, and people say, gee, I'm so sorry I can't keep up with the patron or this and that. Stop. Take care of you. If you just come in here and watch and maybe get away from your problems a little bit, then I've done my job. That's all. I've done my job. Now look what we're doing here. I appreciate you just tuning in and watching. You have no idea how much that means to me. Your support and all that other stuff is by just supporting us and letting us help you in any way that we can, whether it's just watching a video or just just talking some of the things that you have go on out. That's all that matters. Again, jeez, I'm not here for your money. I'm not here for your money. Like some people. All right, good thing the wife isn't here to shut me up. I promised her I'd be better. I'd be good. I wouldn't speak my mind as much as I like to. All right, now look what we're doing here. All right, let's zoom in on this a little bit. I'm going to try to bring that in here. Do you see what that's doing? You see how now all of a sudden we have kind of a three-dimensional feather look here? And that's just by taking and putting a base coat underneath. And again, like I said, look, that's the inside. Okay, and that's the outside. My wife's brother had a stroke. He's only 52. Oh, God, Mark, I'm so sorry. Mark, if there's anything we can do me a favor. Email me at novaprime860@hotmail.com. We'll be more than happy to help. If there's anything that we can do. Carrick stone. All right, so we're going to take a little bit more of this stone. Sorry, I'm kind of bouncing in and out of here. I'm really sorry to hear that. Gee, what is this? 52. God, I don't even remember when I was 52. It was a long time ago. All right. I know I felt younger, that's for sure. I hope he does well. Okay, again, see what we're doing here. See how nice this is coming out? Hey, Phil. How are you? All right, now, next thing we're going to do, we're just going to, again, just working very gently. Let's not try to, you're always trying not to hit those areas, but don't worry about hitting those areas. See, like this pants here, I can lighten that up if I wanted to, but I'm not, because we're going to paint over that. So I'm not worried about that. And then we're coming in here, and then we're working here. Put a little on his face mask so we know what we're going to do. When we get to it, we're going to change the color of that, actually. And we're just going to work here and here. And there we go. That's all we're trying to do. It's as simple as that. This is why I love this channel. We'll take all your prayers. Well, you got mine, that's for sure. I am not able to bid as well, but the reason is more positive. My birthday for me and my son. The birthday for me and my son's 2 weeks from now. Well, there you go. Listen, don't worry about bidding on anything. Jeez. It's the last thing you guys got to worry about. We're doing it. Yeah, we're doing it. I've got to get it all together and all that other stuff. And there's going to be a lot of good stuff there. But, you know, something, don't worry about it. There'll be plenty more auctions in the future. And people are going to be fine. I'll always have good stuff for you guys. Trust me. You can thank our friends at Miniature Market, too, for helping facilitate that. And Pete Shirley and Richard Launius, who are guys that are just unsung in this business. All right, so you see what we got here? See what we're going for? You see how you took such the miniature from the beginning to where we are now, where it's starting to come together a bit? That's what I talk about. You can't go by what you're seeing until we start to put the whole piece of the puzzle together. And there's a lot to it. There is at that. All right, where are we at? 12:06? All right. So this guy still needs quite a bit of time to dry. And this guy, as you can see, we've got pretty much well in hand, and we're really starting to get where we need to be for the Dragonfly Clan and the last two monsters here. I think we're doing a pretty good job, and we've got Rising Sun in for this week. Happy birthday, Dutch, by the way. Boom, 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 boom. Just making sure that we got everything covered. Okay. Let me see, what else can we play around with here? You know what? I think I'm going to leave it right where we found it there. I think we're going to leave it right there for now. I see something I missed. I got to fix later. But we're going to come back next. We're going to finish up the Dragonfly Clan. We're going to finish this last monster. Then we're going to move on to another clan and a couple more monsters. And like I said, we're going to keep on going, and we should have this all done by the time Legion comes out mid-March. I plan on having all of Rising Sun done as far as videos are concerned, so you guys will have a good starting point for those of you that get the retail edition. We're coming along here, and then I think I'm going to let you guys pick the next clan, so put that in the comments. We're going to finish this up, and then we're going to pick another clan, and we're going to start working on them at the same time. Pretty much, this is just the easy stuff. A lot of fun and a good time. We still have some work here to do. When we do the big finish for the monsters, we are going to finish that up. Gloomhaven, we're going to be painting that next week. Saw Rodney Smith will be going to BGG Spring. Would go to it, but the same time as my daughter's graduation. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mark. Okay, so that's it for this week's Rising Sun bit. We've got two more great paint jobs coming up that I think you're really going to enjoy. We're going to be putting together the antelope and painting the antelope from Kingdom Death Monster, and also we're going to be doing battle stations. So we're going to be doing two games that we're going to be talking about. So I'm very excited about it. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. It's always fun to do this live. And until next time, my very good friends, be on the lookout for a ton of videos. We also have Gaming Jury that went up at 11 o'clock. So check that out if you haven't had the chance. And we'll be back. Gloomhaven has been great, although I'm not that far yet. I just got it. I'm going to be doing it live next week with my daughter and her boyfriend Jerry, who's very, very good at it. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to do as much of the campaign as we can. This week, though, we're back to Battle Stations and Kingdom Death Monster, as we're going to get back on track. Well, not that we were off track. All right, enough. I've said it all. I don't think I can say much more. Guys, thanks for watching this, and until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon.